One of my good friends, she listens to the show every day and she always texts me with her thoughts on it, which I love. And she said she has Trump indictment fatigue. And I have it too, right? It's like, think of the way it was when Alvin Bragg first brought the indictment. It was like a before and after moment, like, my God, what's happened? We've crossed the Rubicon. Now it's like, okay, they added more charges to the Mar-a-Lago indictment and they're probably going to indict him on Jan 6th. And then we're going to get the Atlanta indictment. I do care. I still think it's wrong, but I just wonder where the Democrats are really just undermining their whole plan with this. Okay, now they want us to be super outraged that they've now added a new defendant to the Trump indictment on Mar-a-Lago, Carlos de Oliveira. He is alleged to have tried to get a security guard, like a surveillance video overseer, to delete certain surveillance video at Mar-a-Lago. Allegedly, he looked into it with Trump's right-hand man, Walt Nachua. And they don't actually allege that the guy did it. No one's alleging that they deleted the stuff. And there's no allegation that they even attempted to destroy the tapes, just that they seem to kind of want to, and that Trump may or may not have told them to. But it doesn't seem to me, Victor, they actually have a witness who's going to take the witness stand and say that about Trump, which means unless they get one of these guys to flip on Trump, which so far they haven't, none of this is going to come into evidence. So where are we?
It's really, I think these types of things really get American people mad. These are two people who were of the middle class. Mr. Nauta is an immigrant. He's a 12-year military veteran. And so what is he doing? He said he didn't know. And maybe he did know or didn't know, but they're going to be prosecuting for not being forthcoming about what Trump said to them. And that's in a context where we have the former CIA director, John Brennan, just flat out lying under oath twice with no consequences. We had James Clapper, who not only lied, but that said he gave the least untruthful answer about NSA spying. We have James Comey 245 times under oath doing what Mr. Nauta did. I don't know. I can't remember. And then we have Hunter Biden. And so the idea that the government of the United States is going after two mid-level working class people and trying to get them in perjury traps over these classified documents, given all of these grandees in the government at the very highest levels who have lied repeatedly under oath, it's just not sustainable. And people are going to say, and this is what I think DeSantis is trying to say, you have two sets of laws. And finally, what can't go on won't go on. And that's one of the great themes that people should be developing on the Republican side, that there's going to be one set of laws, and he should go back and really start to enforce perjury and people not speaking honestly, rather than doing it selectively to people who have power or money or influence to try to turn them. And what they did with Hunter, if you read that, and I know you did, you read that plea deal, and then you juxtapose it to Nauta's fate, it's just disgusting that this guy has done all of these things. He was a foreign agent. He didn't report income tax, hundreds of thousands of dollars of income tax. He had lied on an affidavit about a gun that turned up in a dumpster. He had felonious behavior on his own laptop, and they are basically giving him a pass. They were trying to, and a pass for future transgressions that haven't even been uncovered. And then they go after Mr. Nauta and all of that. It's just mind-boggling.
It's I want to mention too, the other charge being added against Trump relates to that now infamous document he allegedly waved around at that book meeting for Mark Meadows, where he was saying, look what Mark Milley gave me. The military gave this to me. They wanted to attack Iran. Here's the plan. And Trump has later suggested that he didn't actually have the document, that it was puffery. And now the new charge, this yet another new charge, is related to a classified document, quote, a battle plan related to attacking Iran. And the analysis of this is that the way they've worded it suggests the prosecutors do have the document in question. If so, that would be new information to me. We were not aware of that prior to this. We'll see. Who knows? Just to make sure the audience understands, that's what Trump is now facing. The number one thing I see in this document is they need Carlos to flip. If Carlos does not flip, this story really doesn't amount to a hill of beans, because it's not going to come in. It's going to be hearsay evidence. Okay, so that's Trump. The Hunter stuff is so juicy. I'm sorry, but like what unfolded while I was down in Tallahassee and traveling down there was unbelievable to me. I have to recommend to everybody that you go and you download Andy McCarthy's podcast, because he sits with Rich Lowry once a week, usually comes out on Fridays, but they released a new one early. And it's so worth your while. He explains it in such clear terms. I love Andy McCarthy. He's one of the honest men left in legal analysis. And he was a former federal prosecutor who brought these cases. One of the points he makes, Victor, is that in these plea deals, normally, it's a form agreement. And the reason it's a form agreement is because the government has its form to make sure everybody is subjected to equal justice. This is what you're pleading guilty to, and this is the immunity you're going to get in exchange. It's like you just fill it in as the prosecutor, then you give it to the judge, and he or she approves it or does not. And none of that happened here. The immunity that Hunter was being given was taken out of the main plea deal on the taxes. It was put in a second deal that dealt with the gun charge, and it was sweeping. It gave him immunity not only on the tax charges and the gun thing, it gave him immunity for everything related to everything he did in 14, 15, and up to present day. Everything. The foreign deals, any corruption, any money laundering, all of it. And they tried to hide it from the judge, and she is a hero. He called her a hero, and I agree, Judge Noreika. She said, "What are you doing? What is this? I see why is he getting immunity for stuff beyond the taxes?" And the government was forced to admit it, even though they very clearly did not want her to know. They had tried to give this to him. That's what the Hunter team expected. And they thought they could pull a fast one over on the judge. And she saw it. And she said, "Are you giving?" And they knew as a political matter, they had no choice but to say, we're not going to allow him to get immunity on the charges we're investigating. No, heck no, judge. And that's when the Hunter lawyer stood up and said, "Well, that's bullshit. Then this is off." Well, then forget it then. So that's where it stood. And had it not been for the honesty and the commitment to her job that Judge Noreika did, Hunter would have just gotten away with everything, which he still might. But for today, the battle's still on.
Yeah. I think the strangest thing about it, and Andy McCarthy pointed out in some parts, is that our system, whether we like it or not, is an adversarial system. So the DA is at war with the defense lawyers. And one of the tactics or strategies and we see this with the Trump indictments, they think of every type of writ they could. I can remember the Conrad Black case where Patrick Fitzgerald, he just threw the whole book at him, and then he had to drop in exchange for focusing on one or two. And I thought that they might do that, what they were doing to Trump. In other words, the prosecutor would come in and charge, throw the phone book at Hunter, and then they would plea bargain and get those down. But in exchange for dropping all those charges, they would be really tough on 2 or 3 or 4 that were ironclad and ask for prison time and huge fines. And they didn't. It was like they were on the same team. And
yes.
I think the judge spotted that. And, everybody's had this experience when the IRS makes a mistake and writes you and says, we're going to charge you 1.5 interest per month because you underreported your taxes. Then you call that 800 number and you go through it and through it and through it. And it's a matter of 5,000 or 10,000. And then they admit their mistake after you paid your accountant 500. That's what the average American goes through. But the idea you don't report millions of dollars, knowingly so, and they don't even want to have any consequences for that felony. I don't understand that. And when you look at the Biden lifestyle, how did he buy all of these houses? The DuPont mansion at one point. It seems to me a very easy thing that the IRS and the DOJ working together would just say, these are the expenditures on the left ledger, and this was the income that was reported on the right, and they don't jive. And they're not doing that, apparently.
How dare they try to tell us, the prosecutors, that they have an open, ongoing investigation into Hunter, while they quietly give him immunity for everything. You don't need to know anything more about this case than that. They wanted to be able to say, ongoing investigation, we're doing, we're just warriors for justice. We're going to take us wherever the facts lead us, while they secretly give him immunity for all of it. The only thing he would have been liable for under this agreement is a criminal act he commits from this day forward, from all the days after he signs the plea deal. Nothing from the past, which includes Burisma, Ukraine, China, all of it. And this, it all roots back to the fact that They would not appoint a special counsel on this, Victor. There's no special counsel investigating Hunter Biden. It's being handled by Daddy. That's what's happening. Joe Biden and Merrick Garland are holding hands on this and making sure that Junior doesn't suffer any penalties. Do you see those dark spots in the mirror? You want help making them go away? Introducing the Dark Spot Corrector from Genucel, right in time for the summer. The Dark Spot Corrector, with not one but 3 cutting-edge ingredients, goes to work fast to target sunspots, dark spots, liver spots, and even old discoloration both on your face and your hands. You can now enjoy your summer sun, beach, and barbecues without those spots thanks to Genucel. And with Genucel, you're going to see results or you're going to get your money back. No questions asked. So go to Genucel.com right now, GENUCEL.com right now to get your Dark Spot Corrector with the new Genucel Most Popular Package, now featuring summer essentials like the best-selling Ultra Retinol Moisturizer with a powerful retinol alternative for safe use in the summer sun. Genucel.com/MK60 for these amazing summer essentials and save over 70% off Genucel's most popular package. You get free shipping, free returns, and excellent luxury skincare, all at 70% off. Genucel.com/MK60. All orders include a mystery gift while supplies last. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.